Today I got a new shipment of worms. I got some Superworms, and then I got a little shipment of some Pheonixworms over here. And then over here I have just some Superworms that I already had set up, and I'm going to show you how I do everything and how I set it up and everything, so maybe you can take something from it and fix it up however you want it and however you want to do it. So here's the shipment that came in today. It's approximately 1,000 Superworms. They're supposed to be 1.5 inch. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but you know, give or take, there most of them are. So there's about 1,000 in here. And then, so yeah. And then I'm gonna show you, I put aside some worms here. So here, I'm just gonna do this really quick. This worm I caught right before the video. He was shedding the exoskeleton. So you can see this part is coming off. See that? That's the part, the hard outside part. They don't have like a skeleton inside of them like humans or reptiles do. They have a hard part on the outside. So now if you were to touch this worm, it's really soft. So this would be great to feed to your reptile right now. It would be a lot better to feed this one rather than this one. This one would be easier for them to chew, and they wouldn't have they would have a much less chance of choking rather than on this one. So it would be better to feed this one. So here's another piece of skin that this one just shed also. So that's that. And then these worms can range in a bunch of different sizes. So here's the first size. This is a little size that I usually get for my little tiny geckos. For my leopard geckos. So you can see it compared to my palm. So that one I would feed to a gecko. So I would feed this one to maybe that same gecko, this one to that gecko, and then I would feed this one to a bigger gecko, and then this one to that same bigger gecko, and that one to the same bigger gecko. And then this one I would never feed to a gecko of any kind. I would feed it to a different reptile, something bigger like a bearded dragon, you know, something like that. Maybe a chameleon. My chameleon loves superworms. So, and then you can see that they're all different in different stages of their exoskeleton shedding. Like this one, like you saw, just shed. These two. This one's really dark, so that means he's about to shed. So I would wait to feed this one and feed these first because they're easier to chew. But it really doesn't matter much. But if your reptile's having trouble chewing, if they don't chew their insects well, they have trouble chewing, or they rush to eat, it would be best to feed them these because they don't really have to chew them that well. So I'm going to show you how I have them all set up. This is how I set them up. So I like them a lot better than crickets, because crickets make a lot of noise, and these don't make any noise at all except when they're moving. So basically no noise. You can just keep them in a bucket like this. They're not going to climb out or anything. And what I have in here is just oatmeal, like regular, like without any flavor, and then some bran, and then for moisture, they'll eat this. And then for moisture, I'll put like a piece of celery in there, or a piece of carrot, or maybe potato, and then they'll eat that. And then sometimes I'll sprinkle some reptile vitamins in there, just like a little bit, and then that'll keep them all gut loaded for the reptiles. So that's how I keep them. They grow pretty fast in here, so then I just feed off the tiny ones to the geckos, and then when they get the bigger ones, I don't feed off, then I feed those to the chameleon, and then the ones that get bigger, then I feed those to the dragons. So I have like a little cycle going on. So that's how I do it. And then these are the Pheonixworms. They're calcium rich feeder, so if you're gonna feed these, you don't really have to dust them with calcium. They're also called reptiworms, Pheonixworms, calciworms. They're called many different things, but they're just black soldier fly larvae, so that's what they are. And I ordered the large size, so they'll get a little bit bigger than this, but not much. So you can see that smaller reptiles might like these, but once you get to the bigger reptiles, they might lose interest because they might not find it worth the time of running after these. So like my bigger bearded dragons don't really care for them that much, but my salamander loves them. So that's these. And they come in this little substrate, so when you feed them, make sure to get this little dirt off of them. Alright, so in a second I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to show you what size worm I feed to what animal, so you can feed your animals appropriately and not kill them by mistake by choking them. You don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to try to help you out. So I'm going to pause the video. Alright, so this is one of my smaller geckos. She's a firewater head typhoon. So I'm going to feed her the smaller worms. So let's see if she sees them. There. We got lucky. We saw her eating. And I'm going to feed her more later. This is just for the video. I don't want you guys to think that I'm starving her or anything. You can see she's nice and fat, so you don't have to worry about her not eating. Alright, so this is one of my bigger geckos. She's a Halloween mask R2 Bold. She's pretty big. She just wants to come out. So I don't think she's gonna eat, but I'm gonna put some food in her plate just so you can see what size worms that she eats. So this is what she would eat. I don't know if she's gonna come eat. Come on, come eat. Wanna eat? Nope, she doesn't wanna eat. But yeah, that's alright. So this is my bearded dragon Skittles. She's a partial trans tiger, and I'm gonna feed her three worms. So this is a worm that doesn't have the exoskeleton, so you're not gonna hear a crunch. So see, what you heard was just the juicy part. It's pretty gross. Not really good. Alright, and now this is one that has an exoskeleton. So you can hear that one has a crunch, definitely. And now, here she gets a little treat. She gets an extra one for being a good actor. Doing good for the video camera. Alright, so that concludes the video. I have a lot of other reptiles. I have two bearded dragons. I have 12 leopard geckos. I just got a new chameleon. That's one of my other dragons. I just got a new chameleon. I have a salamander, so if you guys want to see any videos on them, let me know. I'll probably be doing update videos on them soon, so comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you want to see. Thanks for watching.